Okay, so rare Pokemon cards are hard to pick because even if they are rare, it doesn't actually mean they equal value. So in this video, I will uncover the 10 best rare Pokemon cards that have a high chance of potentially becoming valuable. The question we all really need answered is, what makes a card valuable? Is rarity enough? And I'm going to answer that in just a moment. But you know, guys, I always do believe we live in a benevolent universe, and one big thing for me is seeing other people achieving their goals. To celebrate the channel's growth, I'd love to pay it forward by giving away this incredible PSA 10 Japanese Tyranitar art rare. This card is a super clean copy of an amazing artwork, and I really love this card. So guys, in order to win, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and please comment below and let me know what your favorite Pokemon card is. And also share a goal that you're hoping to achieve this year. I'll have a read through over the next few weeks, and I'm gonna pin the comment that's chosen. Now, these giveaways are all possible thanks to my own marketing business, Dream Drop Studio. With over 6 years experience in the field of digital marketing and video production, we've helped companies and businesses and YouTube channels grow online. We have a full dedicated course on how to build captivating content for YouTube, and we use filmmaking experience and storytelling and bring it into the world of YouTube. You know, depending what you need, we do offer one-on-one consults along with paid courses. So it's perfect for the individual and even businesses looking for professional marketing expertise. And guys, all viewers of the channel get access to a 15% discount code, which can be found in the description. But now, while the argument about Pokemon cards with rarity equaling value makes logical sense, it doesn't actually work out like that in practical sense. I mean, when looking over at pop reports, some of the chase cards, there's heaps of rare cards, right? With pop reports under 500. But at the same time, these cards don't have that much value, whereas there's other cards with pop reports over the thousands. What this teaches us about collecting is that demand is the most important thing. And right now, we are in a honeymoon period of demand. You can see my previous video showcasing how alt arts are climbing to new heights, and it seems Pokemon cards, again, are proving to be an unstoppable force. The 2023 dip was just a small lull in the overall scheme of things. But there's one part of the equation which makes investing in Pokemon collectibles super important, and I'm gonna unpack that in detail later in this video when more context is given. Now, here are the top 10 rare Pokemon cards to consider buying at the moment. So at number 10, we have Gardevoir EX from base set. Now, this is one of the first cards introduced as a special illustration rare, and one that is highly memorable for a lot of collectors. Now, the Scarlet and Violet era is by far one of the most iconic eras in terms of card design, and it's already proving to be a real winner, this card. Now, this card was fantastic, and seeing as base set is one of the most forgotten sets at the moment, finding this card in good quality will become harder and harder to find. This is a great illustration and was really impactful on release. It's almost like a burnt in memory for collectors, as everyone was blown away with the illustration rares. So most certainly, this is one to look out for. Now, sitting at number 9, we are continuing with Scarlet and Violet base set, but this time it is the Miriam Special Illustration Rare. Now, this is a really great artwork, and now something funny has happened with the Scarlet and Violet era. And what's interesting is people thought base set and Paldea Evolved were really underwhelming on release. However, as we're getting our teeth within the Scarlet and Violet era, people are kind of looking back at these earlier sets and realizing, wait, hold on, Paldea Evolved and base set were actually kind of good. And this card is reminiscent of that. I mean, I think seeing as Magikarp is rising and we can see a lot of these people revisiting the first sets of Scarlet and Violet, I think people are going to be showing great love for this card in particular. Now at number 8 sits the Crown Zenith Legendary Dogs, or the Legendary Beast, whatever you want to call them. It's kind of funny how we all call these the Legendary Dogs, and when they're actually like cats, but anyway. Now people have caught on and everyone calls these now the Legendary Beast, but to me, you know, being an OG, these are the Legendary Dogs, but whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter. What matters is that these need to enter your collection. These three are so iconic and they are so tied to the Johto era. Suicune, Entei, and Raikou are loved Pokemon, and Crown Zenith illustrations just hit different. I mean, you got like Raikou charging, you got Entei burning up on a volcanic mountain, and then you got Suicune within its like ice mountain element. These are great cards and all deservingly need to enter your collection. With the crazy rise of some of the Sword and Shield alt arts, it's only going to be a matter of time before the wave crashes all onto Crown Zenith. And when it does, you'll certainly want some of these in your collection. Not only that, but the quality control on these was sensational. Crown Zenith really delivered. Now, number 7 is going to be the safe and boring route, but it is Pal Day and Fate's Charizard. Now, going with Charizard is the equivalent of ordering your vanilla ice cream. You won't be blown away, but you know it's safe, right? So Charizard is your vanilla option in almost every circumstance. Now, the secret about Charizard is well and truly out now, but they're just consistently doing well. Now, the card is not overvalued and it's sitting at a decent price, so it's a great one to add to your collection. But to be honest, this is an incredible artwork and one that deserves a heap of respect. It's actually really well done. Now, moving on to number 6, it is still doubling down on Charizard, but this one is not a card. However, it is the Charizard Ultra Premium Collections. Okay, so this was so overprinted, like it was ridiculous. The sales this went on were out of the world. People wanted to get this UPC out of their stores. I'm talking about half price discounts to get this off shelves. It felt like the Charizard UPC became a burden for most stores, and I can see why. They are enormous to store and they take up a lot of room. But they do contain a wide range of Sword and Shield booster packs, and most of the packs are from the alt art sets. They have some great packs inside, and some of these could be holding Moonbryons inside. I definitely rate these, and the price dip they had last year was crazy, especially seeing as how Charizard was seen as the golden child. I actually think the previous Celebrations UPC being a bit underprinted did these a bit of a disservice, as Pokemon didn't want a scalping issue to happen. So what they did was they did the complete opposite and they printed these into oblivion. However, this is an underrated gem at the moment that can be still picked up at a pretty decent price. Now, moving on to number 5, it is Unown V from Silver Tempest. Now, Unown has always been a mysterious Pokemon and it's always had a lot of eyes on it because of its quirky and mysterious feel. If I'm being real, I think the artwork slightly missed the mark on Unown here. The background feels like it would fit more of like an Alolan Executor, and it feels kind of slightly out of place. Though this is a V card from the Sword and Shield era, and it is incredibly hard to acquire. Don't let these V alt arts slip. These cards are super hard to find, and the chances of pulling them is under 1%. Well, that's what the pull rate data shows us anyway. This is a card that is incredibly rare and it could be a good candidate for future growth. So definitely have a keen eye on this card. Now, number 4 is Groudon Illustration Rare from Paradox Rift. Now, a lot of people discount illustration rares as they feel they are second best in a set. People have this weird thing where they can only think that the highest rarity in a set can become valuable. Now, while it is true that special illustration rares are the most wanted rarity within sets, it doesn't always mean it equals value. I mean, look at Paldea Evolved. Right out of the floodgates, Iono was everyone's pick, and it was during this peak waifu hype, and Iono was highly desired. A little less than a year later, and the Magikarp Illustration Rare has completely overtaken Iono as the chase card, and it seems no way of slowing down. I actually did make a video showcasing Magikarp's insane growth, and feel free to just see how quickly it exploded in value if that topic interests you. But this Groudon is sensational, and time could be very friendly to it. It really showcases Groudon as an amazing Pokemon and showcases its triumphant-like nature. I actually really rate this card. Now, moving on to number 3, it is Eevee's Illustration Rare from Twilight Masquerade. Now, Eevee is the second mascot to Pikachu for Generation 1, and when looking at pre-evolved forms, it's a really loved fan favorite. I mean, we all know just how much people love their evolutions and how much demand they pull. Now, this one is just about to release. Now, I have to admit that I cannot see that this card cannot be an absolute winner. It's an absolutely sensational illustration rare and one that really set a standard. I love the multiple Eevees in the artwork and it feels like a scene from a Disney movie. This is a great artwork, and if we've learned anything about Eevee and the evolutions, it's that they can never be taken for granted. It's definitely a good card and has all the positive signs pointing towards it. So most certainly keep this one on your radar. Now, number 2, it is the Pokemon Center stamped Charmander from Obsidian Flames. Now, not the regular version within the ETB, but the Pokemon Center exclusive promo, which is only found in the Pokemon Center ETBs. Firstly, this is a great artwork and it really brings out Charmander back to its like lizard amphibian roots. I know the Charizard line are technically not dragons, but we can't all help see them as dragons, right? So even though they're not dragons, this is technically a lizard. But anyway, I love this card as Charmander seems that it's brought back to its home environment, but more so, it is sensational. And Obsidian Flames is kind of a slept-on set. And it's also kind of sandwiched in one of the worst spots for released, as when Obsidian Flames released, everyone knew that the English 151 was only a few months away, and many people would have just skipped the set. Now, let alone that, the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs would have definitely been skipped by a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people would have even forgot that they exist. But the Charmander promo with the Pokemon Center stamp is just incredible. The stamp gives it that extra level of rarity, and it's also becoming quite a difficult card to acquire. Let alone, these promo cards are always harder to grade as they are much more prone to damage during transit. They are not an easy copy to grade. A nice clean PSA 10 copy of this card could be a real winner given its timeline in release and its scarcity. Now finally, number 1, it is the Squritle Pokemon Center promo. This is a Generation 1 Pokemon, however, it is one of the most loved Pokemon of all time. And not only that, as I just mentioned earlier, the Pokemon Center exclusive stamp really does wonders for a card's exclusivity. Even though we don't have first edition stamps anymore, I can't help but see similarities with Pokemon Center stamps and first edition stamps. Even though it doesn't make it immune to reprints, they do add that layer of exclusivity which collectors all love. Now, this card was only available when pre-ordering items from the Pokemon Center for a limited time frame. Any card that has such a limited time frame, along with exclusive stamps, always makes it a candidate for success. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, it's not just about rarity. There needs to be a sense of exclusivity paired with it to make a card actually desirable. Not only that, but the Squritle is tied to Pokemon 151, and 151 is doing some real weird things as of late. Like 151 seems to be shaping up to be the best set of Generation 9. But what actually makes Pokemon 151 such a good investment, and why are so many people obsessed with it? I answer that in this video right here, which I'll link for you. These are the 4 reasons why I believe Pokemon 151 will become a goldmine. I cover Pokemon's history and I go into some deep marketing data relating to that topic. It's truly a great set, so click that video and I'll see you there, guys.